What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and Happy New Year. What I got for you today is I put together a list of 10 tools that I think everybody needs when working on their mountain bike. Number 1, a bike stand. So the reason I think everybody needs a bike stand in their life is because you need a sturdy place to have your bike held while you turn wrenches on it, right? So you don't need to spend a lot. You can get something fancy like my park tool, or there are solutions that you can find on Amazon. Either way, as long as it allows you to hang your bike, secure it with a clamp, and keep everything still while you're wrenching on it, you're good to go. Number 2, a bike pump. So a bike pump, just like my Toe Peak Joe Blow, is one of the most underrated tools in my entire arsenal because I firmly believe that you need to inflate your tires before every single ride. That is a non-negotiable, especially with tubeless setups like this. They bleed down air, sometimes overnight if things aren't perfect, so just keep that in mind. Number 3, an Allen key set. Almost everything on a mountain bike is Allen key based, so to get yourself a quality set just like this, pretty much takes care of every bolt. It's a must-have. Number 4, a pedal wrench. So pedals, they need to be super tight at all times, especially on a mountain bike that's going to be sending it down a hill. So I believe you need a good pedal wrench to get your pedals nice and tight. Number 5, a torque wrench. Some of the most expensive parts on your bike are going to have torque values printed on them. That's why I believe you need a quality torque wrench. Unfortunately, I can't endorse inexpensive torque wrenches because I've seen them break and I've seen them apply the wrong torque to certain bolts. So I highly recommend you spend the money, get yourself a nice one like this park tool. That way you don't have any broken bolt scenarios and you can take care of your super prestigious parts like your full suspension frame, your crankset, or your forks. Number 6, side cutting pliers. Now, if you're using your mountain bike a lot, you're going to be shifting a lot, you're going to be using your dropper post a lot. That's why I believe you need a good pair of side cutting pliers. These are going to be useful when cutting out old cables and also crimping on new cables and cutting new cables. So yeah, if you're going to be replacing a lot of cables, you need a set of these. Number 7, a pair of tire levers. So there is most certainly going to come a time where you're going to need to either get into your tire, maybe to put a patch on, or change a tire, remove a tire for whatever reason. That's why I believe you're going to need tire levers. Now, I'm not so picky about these. I find that the plastic ones do work great. However, eventually they will snap under a certain load. So I have these Park Tool ones. They are steel bladed with a plastic coating so it doesn't chafe the rim. I really like these, but some people don't because they say the steel ends can puncture tubes, but I don't run tubes, so it doesn't matter to me. So I recommend these, but of course you can use whichever ones work for you. Number 8, a spoke wrench. So I'm sure you've been out on the trails before and heard a spoke get plucked by maybe a stick or something and make a loud pa-tung. You definitely want to have a spoke wrench in your arsenal just so you can check your spokes after rides. If you let a bunch of your spokes get loose, over time your wheel is going to lose all of its structural rigidity, and there's a high likelihood that under a hard lateral force it might fold over and get tacoed. So definitely recommend this. Number 9, some chain link pliers. So I'm very particular about drivetrain cleanliness, and when cleaning a chain, you definitely want to remove it to get it perfect. That's why I believe that chain link pliers are a must-have. There's no easier way to remove the SRAM power links or the Shimano quick links and all that stuff than to have one of these. So highly recommend. I use them constantly. And finally, number 10, a T25. This is the tool you're going to need for brake rotors. When those things take on a lot of abuse, it is not uncommon for the brake rotor bolts to back out. That's why I think you need to have one of these so you can check them every so often and snug them up. Plus, there are a lot of companies adopting the T25 as their main bolt, like Magura brakes, for example, or even some of the SRAM parts, like on the clamps for the brake levers, they use a T25. That's why I believe you need to have one of these as well.
Our first bonus tool will be a bottom bracket tool.
So it's not a bad idea to have the proper bottom bracket tool for your bicycle. This is one for a threaded bottom bracket like what's on my new Da Vinci Troy. The reason why I didn't add this to the list though is you normally don't have to adjust bottom brackets too often. To be honest, I normally sell a bike before I have to replace the bottom bracket, so I don't really think it's 100% necessary, but if you do keep a bike for a long time, you're probably gonna wanna have this on hand, so get one.
Our second bonus tool will be a shock pump.
A lot of people will say that this is 100% necessary in your arsenal. I don't necessarily believe that, because if somebody sets up your bike properly the first go around, you really don't have to redo the pressure in your shocks until it's time for like a 30-hour service or something. It's kind of a set it and forget it type of thing for me. So although it's an awesome tool to have, I don't believe it is 100% necessary right off the bat.
Our third bonus tool, or tools, will be the tools required to remove a cassette.
These are fantastic for taking off cassettes, like when one wears out or when you really want to get it clean. But again, these are runner-up tools because you don't change cassettes that often. You probably change them every 2 to 3 chains. And unless you're crazy about getting stuff clean like I am, you're probably not going to want to remove your cassette every time you want to clean it. There's plenty of products to clean them while it remains on the hub. You just have to be super careful. So again, that's why that is a runner-up tool. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you think I missed any tools in my top 10, why don't you let me know in the comments below what you think I missed. Other than that, please smash that like button and subscribe for more content. And if you haven't considered it, please consider becoming a patron of the channel. I would love to acquire some new patrons in 2021 just so I can continue to gain support from you guys and continue creating content and doing excellent giveaways for all the fans and all that good stuff. But yeah, that about wraps it up. I will see you guys next time.